Hi everyone, class 10th, I am Rashid Khan over here from Lakshmi Prasad Memorial Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Class 10th, here today we'll have to study chemistry about chapter number 3, that is metals and non-metals. So on which we have already discussed some points. Now the remaining point on which we have to discuss. So first of all, here is some metallic reactions maybe forwarded, and in that concern we'll have to discuss on the topic the metal when reacted with the water. What will happen when the metal get reacted with the water? First of all, when the metal get reacted with the water, it produces the metal oxide as well as the hydrogen gas. Let us consider about it is a metal and water. Metal plus water, it form metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. Metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. And how it can consume metal oxide when reacted with metal oxide when reacted with water, it can produce water plus metal oxide when reacted. This can form metal hydroxide. So this is the question, or how it may form, how it may happen. Let us consider about potassium. That is the metal when reacted with the water. This will form potassium oxide. That is in the form of gas or aqueous medium, KOH. It is in aqueous medium plus heat. Now, if we consider about Na plus H2O, this will form NaOH plus heat. So it is confirmed that whenever the metal get reacted with the water, it will form metallic hydroxide as well as the metallic hydroxide plus hydrogen plus heat. This may be considered hydrogen gas. So here we can say 2 to 4 this may be 4. Here we can write another example for the equations of the equation for the reaction that is similar to the sodium. If there is a calcium when reacted with water, this will form that will be considered as. Now the next one is what happened when the calcium is reacted with the water. This will form calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen. This may be considered as the Equating represent the chemical equation for the reactions of metal with the water. What will happen then? But the magnesium does not react with the cold water, and it can react with the hot water to form the magnesium hydroxide. Suppose if there is a magnesium, it could not be reacted easily with the cold water, but it can react with the hot water as well, and this will form magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Hot water, it can be react with hot water. So maybe represented as when the magnesium get reacted with the water, it could be reacted only by the means of hot water. So we can say whenever magnesium get react with the water, this can form magnesium hydroxide as well as the hydrogen gas. Now next one is metals like aluminium, iron, zinc also react with the water to form aluminium oxide, ferrous oxide as well as the zinc oxide. Let us observe how it may happen. Aluminium when reacted with water, this will form Al2O3 plus H2. Aluminium oxide and water. Here in another case, this will form iron when reacted with water. This will form Fe2O3 plus H2. So how many molecules are there to be used in case 4 H2, 4 hydrogen gas, 4 2 is 8, that is 4 oxygen, 2 3 is 6, 4 H2O plus Fe3O4. This may form. Now next one, we can use the reaction. In that particular case, we can go through the reaction with the acid, the reaction of metal with acid. Reaction of metal with acid. How the metal when get reacted with dilute acid, the metal salts plus hydrogen is resultant. So what happened when the metal get reacted with the dilute acid? It will form metallic salt plus hydrogen. Let us consider how it could happen. This may happen by the like this. They could form potassium when reacted with the dilute hydrochloric acid. This will form potassium chloride and hydrogen. So in that concern we can write down, in another case there is magnesium. Magnesium when get reacted with hydrochloric acid, this will form MgCl2 plus H2, that is a hydrogen gas. So here we can write down 2HCl. So in this concern we can form magnesium chloride in the form of aqueous medium, and it is gas. This will be so we can write over there as in case of zinc. If the zinc reacted with a hydrochloric acid, this will form ZnCl2 plus H2. So this is also in the form of aqueous, and this one is in the form of in another medium. When the iron is reacted with hydrochloric acid, this will form FeCl3 plus H2. So this can be represented as in the form FeCl3 and 3H2. Now we can move on to the next one. It is given as lead when get reacted with hydrochloric acid. This will form PbCl2 and hydrogen. So this one is what? Lead, hydrochloric acid, lead chloride, plus hydrogen. So we can write about these equations when metal get reacted with water. What happens when there is a aqua regia get formed? What is aqua regia? Aqua regia is what? The aqua regia is an freshly prepared mixture. It is freshly prepared mixture of nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. HNO3, that is nitric acid, and HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. But in the ratio of very particular medium, that is the ratio should be 1:3. That means if there is a 1%, the concentration is about 1%, so 3% of about the hydrochloric acid, 1% nitric acid and 3% of their hydrochloric acid. That means when the concentrated, in the mean of concentrated, the most importantly, concentrated nitric acid as well as the concentrated hydrochloric acid in the ratio of 1:3. So that can be considered as aquaresia. It is the most important, or you can say it is the most corrosive in nature, and can when any other material could be easily that can be digested or that can be melted in, like platinum, even gold, that can have a high melting point, but yet they can be dissolved when it is mixed with the aquaresia. So class, here we have to discuss on the topic, that is causes of chemical combinations. Causes of chemical combinations. Why it is chemical combinations? The chemical combination is causes due to why? Due to only the one reason, that is octet. Octet rule is what actually? The octet rule states that if there is a number of electrons present in any atom, 2, 8, 18, 32, 50, 72. If any atom or any element having these structure or the number of atom like this, so it will not be further reacted with the others. So for the completing their octet, the any atom or the any element can just combine to one another. That is the cause of chemical combination. Why? Because only the chemical combinations take place. Suppose if there is a sodium chloride, why the sodium chloride get bonded? Why? Because only the reason, that is sodium having 2, 8, 1 electron and chlorine having 2, 8, 7 electron. If the sharing of 1 electron will complete their octet of the chlorine, that is outermost orbit, there is a 8 electron. So suppose if there any atom, if there any element having 2, 8, 18, 32, 50 or 72 on its outer state, that is on their last outermost orbit, so it would not be further react with one another. For obtaining such a structure, that particular type of element have to combine to one another. So suppose if there is a sodium having 2, 8, 1 electron, that is 11 electron, and chlorine had that is 17 electron, 2, 8, 7. So if the octet, that is 8 electron, is in its outer orbit, so it is completed. Now the 7 electron in the chlorine, so 1 electron is to be shared from the sodium to the chlorine, and that one is form a bond. So formation of this bond due to only the chemical changes. That chemical changes, the chemical combinations happen due to what? Only reason, that is the combinations of two elements. This will form sodium chloride. So for the obtaining of octet state, this one is to be considered as the chemical combination. So the chemical combination only causes due to only one reason, that is for completing their octet state. So what here we can say, the ions. What is ion called? Ion is what? An electrically charged atom. An electrically charged atom. Whatever it is, positive or negative. An electrically charged atom is termed as ion. Is called as ion. Suppose chlorine has a chlorine ion. Sodium ion, calcium ion. That is what? These are what actually? These are the ions. Why they can be called as an ion? Because they are electrically charged atom.